It was another dominating performance for Notre Dame, and for the first time since 1989, the Irish have defeated two top 15 teams in back-to-back weeks. Yes, they are very much in the hunt for the college football playoff. Thanks for staying with us after the game. I'm Angelo DI Carlo, number 9, Notre Dame improving to 7-1 on the season with a 35-14 win over number 14 NC State. Pete Sampson of IrishIllustrated.com joining me now. Pete, we thought last week's performance against USC was impressive. This one, even more impressive.
Yeah, without question. This is Notre Dame's best win of the year, in my opinion. NC State's pretty well-coached team, very talented on the defensive line to go over 300 yards again, the 4th straight game they've done that. And really take on a special teams touchdown as well, and then counter with a pick six by Julian Love. I just thought offense and defense today against a good team with so much on the line with the college football playoff poll. That first poll comes out on Tuesday night. I thought Notre Dame delivered at a big spot today.
All right, let's take you through the highlights of this one. Cold and chilly as the Irish are out of the tunnel to host another top 15 matchup. Notre Dame facing adversity early. Tyler Newsome on to punt, and it's blocked by James Smith-Williams and recovered by Jermaine Pratt for the Wolfpack touchdown. That makes it 7-0. Irish immediately respond. Huge hole created by that offensive line, and Josh Adams goes 35 yards, becoming the fastest Notre Dame running back to 1,000 yards in a season, doing so in just 110 carries. Next play, Brandon Wimbush to Durham Smythe for the 25-yard touchdown. What a response there, Pete.
Yeah, I love to see the way Smythe was involved in the game plan today. He was very productive.
Late first quarter, 3rd and 14 for NC State. Ryan Finley connects with Jalen Samuels for the first down. That leads to Finley to Kelvin Harmon. Great catch 12 seconds into the second quarter. And the Wolfpack back up 14-7. Next drive, Brandon Wimbush making it happen with his feet on 3rd and 10. Just simply a great play here.
Yeah, he's one of Notre Dame's best athletes, and he came through with some big 3rd down scrambles there.
20 yards for Wimbush there, and that leads for the rushing touchdown here. 14-play drive, 3-yard TD run for Wimbush, his 11th of the season. He has more rushing TDs in a season than any quarterback in ND history already. Game tied at 14. Irish defense forces a 3-and-out, and on the next drive, Wimbush giving all the time in the world, and what a catch by Smythe for the first down. Take a look at it again, getting those feet down. Really a great play indeed. And then on the next play, really another great catch here, Pete, by Kevin Stefferson.
I've been saying this all week. The reason why Notre Dame's offense is not topped out, Kevin Stefferson, number 29.
Look at him get that foot down, originally ruled out of bounds, but after review, they say he gets the foot down, and Notre Dame gets the touchdown. They go up 21-14 at the half, first lead of the game, and it was all Notre Dame really from there. NC State with the ball to start the 3rd quarter, and here comes Finley looking downfield, and it's picked off by Julian Love. First interception thrown by Finley this year, and Love returning it for the touchdown. Second time he's done that this season. Irish just so good in the turnover game. We knew something had to give between these two teams, and Notre Dame takes advantage. Next, NC State drive, 4th and 1 inside the 10, and what a stop here by the Irish.
Yeah, Tavon Coney again. He's had great back-to-back performances here for Notre Dame.
And then, Pete, another huge hole by the offensive line. Josh Adams, 77 yards, 33 is trucking, 35-14 ND.
This is a play Notre Dame will put in Josh Adams' Heisman portfolio. It's a better play for Notre Dame's offensive line in their Joe Moore Award campaign.
I mean, unbelievable job of what this offensive line, led by Quentin Nelson and Mike McGlinchey, are doing, isn't it?
He's untouched against a top 20 rush defense for a huge touchdown. It's really incredible what the offensive line is doing.
All right, 4th quarter, pretty much everything going Notre Dame's way. This is the one time, we got a little bit of a scare. Brandon Wimbush taken down hard, and he was pretty slow to get up.
Yeah, it's an awkward fall. He's trying to get rid of the football, not take a sack, and I mean, you can see just sort of really is crushed there awkwardly coming down. But he does come back in the game. He's just going to be beat up. Notre Dame needs him to expose himself to hits because he's so good in the run game.
And here he is coming back in the game, gets a first down, and Notre Dame able to run out the clock from there to get the victory, 35-14. You know, in the end, it wasn't very flashy at the end of the game because Notre Dame just dominated this one in the second half and put it away.
Yeah, it's remarkable to me. They barely had the ball in the third quarter and outscored NC State in that frame. That was a dominant quarter by Notre Dame, and they did it in multiple ways. So I was just so impressed with the third quarter by Notre Dame today. This was a game at that point, and then Notre Dame just sort of took NC State's will at that stage. So it's to come away 35-14 against a top 15 team on a day where TCU goes down at Iowa State. The first college football playoff poll comes out on Tuesday night. I feel like Notre Dame is at least going to be number 5 on Tuesday night. I don't think they'll be higher than that, but man, what a great starting point as we really get into that playoff conversation.
We go back to that Georgia game and the loss 20-19. If I would have told you Notre Dame would be 7-1, but more importantly, would have won every one of those games by 20 points or more, what would you have said?
I just thought you were crazy. I mean, there's just no way around that because they have to get to where they are with just one loss doesn't really shock me, but the way they've gone about it is just blowing me away. I cannot remember a transformative season like this in more than a decade, maybe Charlie Weiss's first season. But this coaching staff, the head coach at least, is the same guy. But the program he's running is completely different. It's amazing to watch.
All right, Wake Forest is next. They got a nice victory today. Miami is after that. They're just surviving every week. They're still undefeated, ranked 8th in the country. Play this out for us, what you see for the next month.
You know, at this point, I think you'd have to be pretty disappointed if Notre Dame didn't run the table the rest of the way, which is a crazy thing to say. But Stanford is very wobbly. They struggled against Oregon State on Thursday night. I know that Bryce Love, their Heisman candidate, was out of that game, but that's a team that's just doesn't move the ball very well. Their defense is very beat up. So at this point, Notre Dame, I think, is going to be a comfortable favorite in its last 5 games. And at this point, the way Notre Dame's playing, you got to give them more than the benefit of the doubt. 4 straight 300-yard games, and that's, I think, 6 300-yard games for the season, just rushing.
They're making statement after statement. Yeah. We wanted to see them prove themselves this season after everything that happened last year. I mean, they've gone beyond proving themselves. They are playing at a pace that we have not seen them dominate teams, to dominate every team by 20 points or more. And the way this shakes out, it looks like the Big 12 is probably out of the mix now for the college football playoff, assuming Notre Dame wins out. We're talking about. Obviously, things can be in play. But if Notre Dame goes 11-1, that probably eliminates the Pac-12 because they'd have wins over USC and Stanford.
Yeah.
And maybe the ACC's out of the mix, but, if Clemson is a 12-1 ACC champion, that's the question. Does Notre Dame get in over them? I say yes. You probably say yes. Will the committee give it to them?
Yeah, that's hard. It's just so hard to say. Like, if Notre Dame keeps playing like this, then
how can you leave them out, right?
Absolutely, Notre Dame is in. If there's a wobble here or there at Miami or Stanford, then maybe you could have a conversation about it. But, I mean, Clemson has not sort of found itself post-Deshaun Watson at this stage of the season. So I look at Notre Dame. I don't want to say they control their own destiny at this point, but they've got a kind of a half grip on it.
Yeah.
And if they keep playing like this, winning game after game by 20 points, it's going to be very, very difficult to keep them out.
I think it's time to give kudos to Jack Swarbrick, by the way, because a year ago people were calling for Brian Kelly's head. He's stuck with it. It's paying off for Jack Swarbrick and for Notre Dame.
Yeah, he doubled down with Brian Kelly, bring in the new staff, reinvent yourself, and all those investments are paying off right now. So it's a good look for the athletic department at large. But most importantly, it's a good look for the head football coach because, he was taking all sorts of bullets. I mean, there's ads in the Observer and the South Bend Tribune after last season. Now you're sitting there thinking, like, what was all the fuss about last December? Could we walk back to that? I mean, Notre Dame it's just a completely different football program than where it was 8 or 11 months ago.
Absolutely. All right, Pete, thank you very much. As always, Pete Sampson of IrishIllustrated.com. The Irish are now 7-1 on the season. Wake Forest is up next Saturday at 3:30 here at Notre Dame Stadium. And before the game today, the second flyover of the season here at Notre Dame Stadium, performed by 4 United States Air Force F-16 Fighting Falcon Jets. This was the second flyover of the year. As I mentioned, the first happened before the Georgia game. Also new today was the extreme change in temperature